Neptune was passed within 48,000 km on August 24, 1989. It was able to take stunning photographs of the giant and to shoot Triton, its largest satellite. Triton was home to active geysers. This was a surprise considering the celestial body's remote location and low temperature. The probe crossed the termination shock 21 years later and entered the heliopause. 11 years later, Voyager 2 also passed through this area to enter interstellar space. What did Voyager 2 see on the last planet it visited? Neptune is the planet that many people agree with the most mysterious in the solar system. It is the closest body to Uranus in terms of its composition. It is a large blue planet and, as such, is classified as an icy giant. Neptune's atmosphere has a similar composition to Jupiter's and is mostly composed of hydrogen as well as helium. The planet's interior is mainly made of stone and water. Blue is derived from methane found in the atmosphere's outer layers. Neptune's size earns it 4th place in the solar system. It is 3rd in mass. This planet is 17 times larger than Earth. Neptune is also well known for its harsh climate. The atmosphere is blown by the strongest winds of the solar system. According to some estimates, they may run at speeds of up to 600 meters per second. Any object with an average size landing on the planet's surface would be swept away by this wind. Neptune's surface has a temperature of -220 Celsius. However, if you did find yourself there, it would not be the most difficult ordeal. Even scarier, however, is the fact that a year on Neptune will cost you 165 Earth years. Just over a year has elapsed since the discovery of Neptune in 1846. What could Voyager 2 see in that bleak place? Voyager 2 first photographs as it approached Neptune were taken on the 23rd of January 1989. When the probe was 310 million km from the planet. The images showed formations in Neptune's atmosphere as the probe grew closer. These images were taken in a 90-minute time period. Scientists were able to observe atmospheric clouds and also notice a large dark spot in the photos. This spot was about the same size as Jupiter's Great Red Spot. Notable is the fact that this Neptune area was 10% darker than its surrounding atmosphere. Voyager 2 was able to see the planet's color when it got closer. These photos were taken at a distance of 176 million Kelvin m. They were separated by 5 hours, and the planet rotated 100 degrees between them. The next goal of the probe was to find the closest satellites. It was able to capture Triton as well as Neptune in one picture on July 3, 1989. The probe grew closer. Another active series of photo taking 35 million Kelvin m away was launched to study the nebulae closer, capture them from Neptune. A few dozen similar formations, aside from the Great Dark Spot, were also observed. Voyager 2 captured these contrasted clouds in this image. This photo clearly showed that they floated higher than the Great Dark Spot. Next, we took the photos at a 17-hour time interval. It could be seen that almost the entire turn of the planet was completed by the Great Dark Spot. Scientists discovered that spots such as these can move around Neptune at speeds of 100 meters per second. Images from the Voyager also allowed for wind first measurements. In some areas, it was as high as 700 meters per second. This is almost the same speed as sound speed. It was 4,900 kilometers from the closest point of the probe's approach towards the cloud layer on the planet. Images depict cirrus clouds casting shadows on the layer below. Voyager 2 was capable of taking pictures of many satellites during its flight, such as Triton, Nereid, and others. After that, the probe continued its journey and said goodbye to the planet. Voyager 2 last photo near Neptune looks like a goodbye. It was in shadow when the probe entered, so only a small portion of the icy giant is visible. Voyager 2 was thus left behind, never to be seen again. Voyager 2 remains the only spacecraft that has reached Uranus or Neptune. The New Horizons probe reached Pluto in July 2015, surpassing its success. Voyager 2 will, however, remain a legend in space exploration. It will reach the Oort cloud in about 300 years. The Oort cloud will be reached by it in only 30,000 years. It is likely that more than one Neptune exploration mission will be launched by then. Voyager 2 achievements can be considered a worthy start to the story. Voyager 2 sent several photos to Earth. These photos show the satellites of the planet, as well as its rings and surface. They were instrumental in discovering 2 additional Uranus rings and bringing the 9 known ones closer to each other. Voyager 2 was found in the vicinity of the second most important object of its mission 2 years later. Voyager 2 was still 101,000 kilometers from Saturn after 2 years. The probe flew past its satellites Tethys and Enceladus and sent detailed images of their surfaces. Initial forecasts indicated that this was the end of Voyager 2, but Voyager 2 continued its journey. January 24, 1986, the spacecraft passed Uranus at E1000 Kelvin M. Voyager 2 was 71,000 km from Jupiter on the 9th of July 1979. It also flew alongside its satellites Europa and Ganymede. The spacecraft's images gave rise to the possibility of a liquid ocean. Below the crust of Europe, Ganymede's observation revealed that the crust was covered in a dirty ice layer. What did the last shots of Neptune look like then? Let's take a look at the history of the probe before you can find out its identity. August 20th, 1977. This is the date Voyager 2 reached the surface of the Earth. It was to cross the borders of the entire solar system 41 years later. Initial plans for the mission were to explore Jupiter, Saturn, and their satellites. However, the flight's path allowed for the possibility of flying by Uranus or Neptune. Voyager 2 only spent a few months close to the planet, but even within that brief time frame, it was able to get a lot of valuable information. Voyager 2 saw Neptune as the last large object. Before the probe reached interstellar space, it had crossed the heliopause boundary. This celestial body lies 4.5 billion kilometers away from us. It would take about 20 years to reach there using an ordinary rocket. But there was something that came from Earth that could approach this planet. You can even take some photos. The first in outer space. This was the Voyager 2 probe. It is still the only one to have flown by Neptune. You can only visit a handful of places in the world. You can see the Mariana Trench at the bottom of the Tambora volcano crater. There are many more places like these in the area. One of these is Neptune's location,